Thank you so much again for being here, you guys. Just a few questions about your experience with using Sunny and Turquoise. What made you reach out to Sunny and Turquoise in the first place?
I feel like we wanted to do something special for our honeymoon, and we just really didn't know where to start. And then when we decided we're leaning somewhere kind of like overseas, something a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
We knew that we needed like someone that knew what they were doing and someone trusting to like help guide us because we had no idea like where to begin. So
yeah, smart. Yeah, okay. Before you were decided to work with me, it sounds like you were feeling just a little uneasy about the whole process.
It was just it was a daunting task to try to schedule 10 days in a country across the seas that you've never been to, nothing about. So just not even knowing where to hit the ground running
Yeah,
is yeah, it was just daunting. So
yeah,
and I
yeah,
feel like it's easy to be like, oh, like, well, we want to go to Spain, but then it's like, okay, well, after we get the flight booked, like, what time do the trains need to be, and what time, like, where do the hotels need to be at, like, a
yeah,
good central location, where can we walk everywhere, and just like all like the little details
yeah.
that we wouldn't have looked into like you did. So
Okay. Okay, great. Um, how did you feel once you handed it over to me?
at ease.
like
Yeah.
it was out of our hands.
Yeah.
We gave you what we wanted, and we were like, it's up to her now.
It was
Okay,
really
good.
exciting to see like the moment that we had gotten it into you guys' hands and we had a good plan on where we were going. Um, we were just really eager to get the travel plan back so we could
Yeah.
see all the fun stuff we were gonna end up doing. So
Yeah.
yeah, had full
Okay.
faith that we were gonna get something awesome though.
Good. You felt like you could breathe. You're like, okay, this isn't on me anymore.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I think it
Um,
was nice too when you gave us like the two before we knew where we were gonna go for Spain and Portugal, and then we
yeah.
kind of saw like, oh, like there's some really cool stuff over there. Like, oh, like
Yeah.
they do know what they're doing. Like,
Yeah. But also cool because in your heart, you did want to go to Spain. So
yeah,
so seeing both options though really made you feel probably a little bit more reassured that Spain was your right choice for you.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with
Yep.
And that maybe Portugal's next.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Portugal would still be fun. We heard some things. We heard some things by people while we were in Spain talking about Portugal, and it seems uh, crazy how quickly cultural differences.
Yes.
Just after a couple of miles, cultural differences you just grow.
Yes.
So yeah, but Spain was amazing. So
Yeah, I agree. I love Spain. I would live there if I could. Maybe I will someday.
Yeah.
Um, did anything surprise you about working with us? Like anything that you felt like was maybe above and beyond, or a surprise, or anything like that that felt special?
Well, for me, one, I did not expect like as much dedication as you had. Like being able to text you or email you, like it would be a Friday night at 10 o'clock, and I in no way expected a response. But then by Saturday morning, you were like, "Yep, let me look into that. I can do that for you." Like I just expected it to be a little bit more of a drawn out process,
Okay.
but it all got put together a lot quicker than I
Cool.
expected.
Okay.
an impressive thing that I know we talked about while we were in Spain was just how perfectly timed up the trains and the events were. Not so much that it was just like, okay, you're gonna have time to be able to do all these things and they're stacked on top of each other, but it almost seemed like there was a deliberate baked in like resting time between certain things. So like you hop on a train, you go for like 2 hours, okay, find a spot to grab some food, get your bearings and everything else. Your next event isn't for another 2 hours after that or something else. So
Yeah.
we didn't feel like we felt like we were doing a lot, and it was awesome because we don't like sitting still too long. But also we had enough time to not feel like we were rushed through
Okay.
things
Good.
event to event. So that
Good.
was perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Good. It felt like somebody who's traveled before helped you plan it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were
So
holding our
that's
hand the
good.
whole way.
That's good. That's good. Um, Do you feel like working with us at all helped you save money or stay within your budget?
I tell people, like everyone that's asked me so far, like, oh, like, are you glad you went through a travel agent? Even just immediately, the fact that you sat and babysat the plane, like the flights, and watched those, we would have never done that. So I honestly feel like the price that you got us on the flights alone was worth your services.
Yeah.
And
it may have paid for my service.
Yeah, honestly, because we got all things considered really good flights and all that for it.
Okay.
But yeah, and again, I think too. So we had a budget, and I think if we would have planned it, I would have maybe not stuck to it, but I would have tried to lowball us. That sounds so bad, and like I think I would have missed out on some of the cool events that you planned for us because I would have seen like the sticker price and not thought about like, well, we have this money saved away. This is what it's for.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we want to do. We need to make the most of it.
Yeah.
And you knowing exactly where to put our money so that we got our best experience possible made it all the worth
Thanks,
it.
Ellie. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Well, it does feel good when when somebody tells you they've done this already and it's like, you really are going to love this. You should try this, right? Then you feel like good about your decision. Mm-hmm. But when you're just planning it on your own, you're kind of like, well, do we need to see that? I don't know,
Right.
So yeah, I see where you're coming from. Makes good sense. Yeah. You kind of touched on this before, but how did having everything organized, like with the app and stuff, how did that help, like with your confidence with traveling and leaving the States to go to a new country?
I did the old man thing and I printed out
all
of the stuff and had like a envelope that was filled with paper.
I love that.
I don't know if the app is gonna hit, but the app was great the whole time. And what it did is it made us so we could be out and about and we didn't have to take a bunch of things to help us keep track of when certain events were. It also went into really big, like the app did a really good job at going into detail on what each of the events that we were going to do, was or how to get there, things like that.
Having the directions and
made it very stress-free.
Contact information. Yeah.
And it made it so easy for, like several times throughout, our guides or host reached out to us through the app about like a time change or location change, like nothing big, but it was just like reaching out to make sure we were, still good for tomorrow. And just the kind of easy conversation between the guide was really good with it too.
Okay, good. Okay, great. And then last one, of course, is, what would you tell a friend who was considering reaching out to Sunny and Turquoise?
I have always been one to be like, we don't need a travel agent whenever I travel, because I like to take the 8 hours to sit down and plan out an entire weekend trip or whatever else and explore around. This is the first time I've ever used a travel agent or travel agent services, I should say. And that was probably the best experience I've ever had as far as planning a trip. And the biggest thing is just like, could I have gone through and done that? Sure. But to Ellie's point, would we have built something of the same quality, the same caliber, with the same resources as you guys? Absolutely not. So as far as, I think there's, if we're just doing a weekend trip to Chicago, I get it. But what I would tell somebody is if they're ever doing something just as daunting as like even a life adventure, like a goal, like a bucket list thing, like reach out to a travel agent and let them use their resources and their skills, their knowledge, their history of those places to help you get that best experience, because I would have never been able to do that on my own.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm very, very thankful for that.
Oh, good. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm just so glad you had an amazing honeymoon. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah. It was, this experience was like working with a best friend, like someone that knows what they're doing. And it was like,
I love that. That
like,
is the best thing you could have said right there. Thank you. Thank you so much.